On November 17th, 2023, the next UniVersus My Hero Academia expansion, Jetburn, finally releases, and it's bringing tons of super cool new cards to the game, including a few that we get to show off to you today, and our reveals are focused around the Shiketsu High School Whirlwind Quirk student, Inasa Yoarashi. Let's check them out. What's up, everyone? It's Dan with Maindeck, and as I said in the intro, this is a very special video today where UVS Games reached out to us so that we could preview for you guys 3 new cards from My Hero Academia Set 6, Jetburn, and to help me show off these previews and provide a bit more of the competitive prowess that I might be slightly lacking in the UVS arena here, we have Maindeck Mitch. How's it going, Mitch?
Doing good, Dan. Ready for some cool cards.
Yes, we do have some very cool cards today. Our character that we get to show off to you guys is Inasa Yoarashi, and you should see his picture right here on the screen now. Inasa Yoarashi is a 6-hander with 29 health. He has the following keywords: Shiketsu and student, and we'll talk about that in a second. I think that's kind of interesting. And he has the symbols air, death, and water. Inasa has 2 abilities: enhance, destroy 1 foundation, refresh 1, with refresh being a new keyword in Jetburn, meaning ready 1 foundation that has not been readied this combat phase. So not a new effect, but they just keyworded the effect now. And response, commit 1 foundation. After an attack is played, it gets plus X or minus X speed. X equals the difficulty of the committed foundation. So what we see with this Inasa, I keep trying to say Inuyasha, oh no. What we see with this Inasa character card is that he has the ability to constantly destroys foundations in order to refresh other foundations for a lot of really nice resource management throughout the turn. One thing that we do a lot in deck building too is put in cards to try and allow us to destroy foundations so we can play new ones, so we can be more ready on the opponent's turn as the game is going to the late game, get rid of your ones that you've already used up, get some new effects on the board, lots of reasons to do that. And Inasa having that built in, I think, is actually really cool. And his response is a very interesting one that encourages you to play higher difficulty foundations in order to give attacks plus X or minus X speed as a response, meaning it works with flash attacks, either yours or your opponent's as well, allowing you to punch in more or kind of reduce your opponent's speed so you can block them out instead. So, Mitch, that's our basic breakdown, but tell me, after you look this up, I know you pulled up a bunch of cards that work with him. What do you think about Inasa?
At an initial glance, I think he looks like a really cool and fun character. I like that we have more of an on-face ability to deal with flash attacks, because fast and big flash attacks have been kind of a thing that's been hard to deal with through a lot of our metagame. Looking at you, Jiro.
Absolutely.
So I think it'll be a nice change of pace. The ability to being able to reuse our powerful commit effects on our foundations will be nice as well. The one that comes to mind that's really big, eat my sticky balls for, again, either -3 speed if it is response or -4 speed on instant enhance. We'll be able to make our opponent's moves really slow.
I love this. Anytime we get a character that has plus or minus speed, always seems like it's such a powerful ability because it's so flexible that it can be used on offense or defense. And speed is the one where like as much as we love our big Nomu decks that just punch in, you gotta block it. This damage is gonna kill you. The speed is the one where your opponent often goes, that's too fast. I can't do anything. I just have to take the damage. Or, but I know every time my opponent reduces up my speed to 1 or 0, I'm like, what's even the point? What am I even doing anymore? It feels so bad. So it could be a very, very powerful ability. And we're going to talk a little bit more. As you mentioned, the Sticky Balls Foundation. There's some interesting combos, I think, that are enabled by Inasa, which I'm very excited to just try and explore in decks. I agree. You said he's a very fun character. I think this kind of the cool thing about Inasa is just moving things in and out constantly. Just pressing all the buttons, like we like to say, right?
We love pressing buttons.
And he's a big button presser. Every single attack, commit a foundation, modify the speed, destroy foundation, refresh foundation, and all these combos is going to be a ton of fun. But let's talk about the other 2 cards we get to show off in his kit here. We're going to talk about the attack first. And the attack we're showing off is Gusty Buffet. And I absolutely love the name of this attack because it's okay. So just so people are aware, this isn't as so common a term, but you do get buffeted by the wind when it blows in your face. But I am absolutely going to be calling this attack either Gusty Buffet or Gutsy Buffet, because I think that's an easy mispronunciation.
I love them both.
It's very funny. It's a very fun name for the card. But this card is an attack card with a 5 difficulty and a 3 check and a 2 low block. Solid. I like the block zone. That's nice there. It is a charge and ranged attack on all of Inasa's symbols, air, death, and water. It is a 4 speed low for 2 damage, which that seems very low, but hang on for a second. If you have less foundations than your rival, this attack gets -1 difficulty. First of all, I mean, that's great text. I love any time the text on an attack tells me it can have minus difficulty. Beautiful. And enhance, if you are not in deadlock, this attack gets +1 damage for each of your ready foundations. So deadlock, just to be sure, in case we have new players out there, means having more than 10 foundations in play in your stage. So you can't just like dump your whole deck of foundations. I'd be like, it's a 60 damage attack.
We could play this in Water Recovery Girl. It'd be great.
No, I think you should have stopped playing Water Recovery Girl. I'm tired of it, Mitch. No, this is a cool attack that can. Now the interesting thing is, I think the 2 abilities don't like. It feels like a lot of the time you're going to have one or the other. Really, you're either going to have a big damage buff, or you're going to have the -1 difficulty, or it's going to be like somewhere in between. You're going to have a little bit of a damage buff and get that difficulty minus.
I think what's really cool this one is, like, again, since our character likes to blow up on foundations, later on in your string, you might get below the threshold to make this a 4 diff instead of a 5 diff.
Sure, yeah, and that's when you want it, is later in the string to have that. But generally, later in the string too, if you're pretty late in the string, you've been destroying your own foundations or committing your foundations, or both. You commit them and then destroy them to ready other ones or something. So you're probably, just saying, you're probably not going to get the 10 damage buff late in the string with this. Seems unlikely.
The ceiling +10 damage. Do we need +10? Not usually. Usually, like, you get +4, +5 will work just fine.
Yeah,
you don't need to be.
Yeah, agreed. But because I'm a guy who likes the big numbers, okay? Like, you know this about me. I just want to put the large numbers on the things. And I see this card, I say, okay, first form on my turn, checks a 5, it's a 12 damage 4 low. What are you going to do? Now I will probably commit to Inasa's response. I'll make it like a 7 speed low for 11 damage. I'll accept that. Right? I'll accept having to do that.
Okay.
But I'm trying to get that number as high as possible. I get excited about the ability to have a number that is quite that high. Mitch, where do you see this card typically fitting into people's strings or their deck builds with Inasa?
So what's really good for this one is it has the charge keyword for air and the water for range. Those 2 great combos. We've seen charge 0, and we've seen lots of, if you're doing water, you're probably doing the range package. You get like freezer burn, frigid heat wave. The whole package in water is great for range. So we have 2 really great keywords on top of what I think is going to be a pretty okay attack. My biggest problem with the attack, honestly, is just the very low base damage. But again, it has damage buff. But outside of that, it's not doing anything. Like, there's no conditional draw, there's no stun, there's no zone change, there's no speed buff. It's just a very fair attack.
Yeah, this isn't an attack that is advancing your game state in any other way than it's just going to try and make the opponent lose. Right?
Like, yeah, but you know what? This is a great follow-up to a double jab pummel.
I am a DJP super
I know
fan.
you love that card.
I love me some double jab pummel. Oh, trust me. I saw the reveal of oh wait, I forgot who it was now. Was it Gentle Criminal? I think it's Gentle Criminal.
Gentle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I saw the reveal Gentle Criminal, and I said, that's my deck. That's the one, right? And I have my 4XR DJPs. I'm slotting them in. We're going to town. But
Dope.
But I can also appreciate from time to time a good massive damage attack like Gusty Buffet. It's a
This is a really interesting one for the Charged Hero package. I'm not sure if it'll ever fit in, but it's gonna be either an early game, you have to block this one, so my later ones will kill you, or it's be, hey, after my DJP or after I've done my string of sound waves, throw this down for low for however much damage you can pump into it.
Yeah, I kind of like that. You sending it early, and just, again, you're just like, okay, checks a 5. It's a 4-speed for 13. Get the +1 damage buff from it being a charge, right, on Jiro as your first attack, and you go, okay, like, go for it, like, throw out your low block. You
block
need
it.
to
Show me.
You need to do that right now. I think that's really cool. Last card we're going to look at, we'll just talk about some card combinations after that. We're going to talk about the foundation we have, which is Heroic Passion. Heroic Passion is of course, 3 difficulty, as Inasa wants higher difficulty. Foundation with a 5 check and another 2 low block. He's got the 2 low blocks all ready for him. Symbols are, once again, air, death, water, and has response once per turn, tenacious. Tenacious being the new keyword that means this ability is playable while committed. After this card is committed due to a stun ability or to pay the cost of an ability, draw 1 card. First of all, obviously with Inasa, you're going to commit this, give something +3 speed or -3 speed, and draw a card. And that's
great.
That's like we're saying, like we've got these attacks that are just like straight doing damage. We need to get those sort of tempo, resource, card advancement plays from other sources, and this is one of those. Also, more stun hate.
Yay, stun hate. We hate stun here. Get it out. Get it gone.
Yeah, Back Alley Haymaker has gone on for too long at this point, so that's fine.
What's notable for this one is it specifically calls out stun versus this committed to rival effect.
True. Yeah, good point. That's
Which has
interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think of this card in general? Where does this slot into Inasa or other decks?
So there's not a lot of stun hate on air, death, and water that I can think of off the top of my head, besides like Prone Dry Eyes and water. So again, more stun hate on those symbols is great, because good has more than enough stun hate. Good doesn't need any more stun hate.
Certainly does. Hey, at this point, it can't be fixed. Can I do a...
Perfect. There we go. Again, this card works great with this kit. It also works really well with decks on air that are going to be playing indiscriminate 1.3 million volts.
Yep.
You tap one of theirs, and you get a draw card off the bat.
Yeah, nice.
I'm not sure if it's worth playing this 3-diff outside of characters that can commit stuff for their effect. Just have a reliable way to commit it. But again, stun hate, you might want stun hate, so we might throw it in there anyways.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I like about this is just that there are always going to be characters that are going to commit foundations to do things. It's one of the simple ways that the developers put in some sort of a resource cost on abilities, and the abilities that get this are generally the ones that are way more fun, like Midnight having the ability to commit to add speed equal to the number of keywords on stuff. So as long as you can find characters that fit into these symbols that are doing the really fun things, there's a chance that Heroic Passion is going to be a card that I think you're going to look at.
Know what goes great for?
What's that?
Nobu.
Oh, true. Oh, true.
Make it 6 damage, draw a card.
Ooh, yeah, there we go. I like that. Death Nomu gets to rock that, huh? That's awesome. All right, so those are our 3 new cards. Now, I think what we want to talk about just a little bit here is some of the interactions that you're going to get to play with the Inasa character card specifically, because I'm sure a lot of people out there are going to take a look at Inasa, might be a favorite character of yours, want to figure out, okay, where's the juice? Where can I start building this guy to get the most impact? So we've been looking at through the list a little bit, trying to find some of these interactions. So, Mitch, why don't you lead the way? Tell us about some of the interactions you found.
All right, guys, come on, look closer. In here, we're gonna take a little trip to Magical Christmas Land. All right,
my favorite place. Let's go.
All right, so we are playing a water range build here, right? We want to have sticky balls and a new one from the new set, Snap Out of It. It's a 3-diff function that was revealed for the Otago starter deck. It is a student first enhance your turn to commit unflip 1 foundation. So we're gonna start off with any attack you want. Any flavor water range attack, throw it out there first. And we're gonna use sticky balls to flip, collect the card pool. Second attack, we're gonna use Snap Out of It right away to unflip sticky balls, to sticky balls them again. And we're using Inasa to re-ready Snap Out of It. Third attack, sticky balls them again. So we're gonna sticky balls them 3 times per turn here, and then we're gonna throw out the fattest tongue whip of your life.
If any of those were other copies of Tongue Whip, of course.
Oh, and then they're just super dead.
I mean, the pool is just jammed at that point. And on top of all of this, the great thing is that Inasa's speed advantage is also his commit 1 foundation to add speed, something you could be using that entire time. And it's not even an enhance. It doesn't like interrupt you needing to use first enhance on Snap Out of It or anything. It's just like you're just going to have that speed going into every attack, even if the opponent's trying to screw with you in any way. I think that's so cool. I think that's so sweet.
We're going to stuff all the card pools with this guy.
Oh, it's going to be so hard. It would be so hard to stop any of Inasa's attacks in that build. Obviously, you need things to... The problem with this is that Sticky Balls and Snap Out of It, both are unique foundations. Both are 3-diff foundations. Okay? And let's just say right away, one of the issues with Inasa, and probably one of the things I think that is just... It's going to be a little bit of a hurdle for Inasa to get to that high level of top table, top tier competitive play. Like winning, like, are you winning worlds with Inasa? He has, I think, just a couple of things that are maybe going to stop him from being like the next overhaul, right? But Inasa, one of them is that you're going to want to play a lot of like 3-diff foundations if you really want, like, if you want that to be +3, -3 speed
no.
all the
we
time.
We need the 4-diff foundations in here, Dan.
Okay. We have No Time to Waste, which is a 4 difficulty foundation with Form, Commit 1 rival foundation or asset, and Enhance, Destroy. This attack gets -3 speed, playable while committed. So in Inasa, cute thing about this is that you get to directly target multiple things on their turn. You can commit this as a form to commit the foundation that they're going to use to screw with your attack at all, then throw an attack, ready the No Time to Waste, next form, do it again. And furthermore, then on their turn, you still have the ability to destroy it to -3 speed their attacks if you feel like it.
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
I mean, I think the big thing about this is you could use it to like mess with their stuff, ready it, and then use it to like +4 speed your attack if you want to. You can also on your opponent's turn -4 speed their attack with it, and then ready it, and then -4 speed their attack, and then destroy it, and then -3 speed that same attack. So you -4 speed one attack, and then you -7 speed the next attack.
Yeah, their attacks aren't getting through. We're blocking them.
Yeah, they're getting blocked for sure. I think that's really cute. I think that's a cool interaction.
Is it good? We'll find out, but it's really cute.
The problem is just going to be having all these gigantic diff foundations in your deck. You're going to have to choose. You can't run them all.
God, I wish this guy could play Nutrient Method so bad.
Yeah, that would be really nice. However, he can play some other things to help manage at least his resources throughout the turn. He's going to have access to Small and Limber, which is it actually goes in his air symbol build. One thing that I think is interesting is a lot of these support cards are in a variety of different symbols on his character card. So I'm not sure which ones are going to be like the most powerful. I think you're going to have fun exploring Inasa's air, death, and water builds. They're all going to be, I think, kind of have a different set of his utility package to play with. But in the air one, you have Small and Limber, which already, you can commit to give your charge for your kick attacks plus speed plus 1 damage. Pretty cool. But the big thing is just as resource management. After a card leaves your stage during combat phase, which you're gonna do because you're gonna destroy your foundations, then you get to ready it also. And it's only once per turn. Thankfully they realized this would be absolutely busted.
Oh god.
But it does mean once per turn, his Inasa reads destroy 1 foundation, ready 2 foundations, which can really, that's enough to really get your string going.
I think one card that should be in any deck you can play with him, Grenadier Bracers. It's like a shoe-in fit for Inasa.
Yes, I like this one quite a bit in here. Very good.
Grenadier Bracers, for you guys out there, it's the 1 diff asset. It has enhanced if you have destroyed a foundation this enhanced step. This attack gets +1 damage. It has enhanced commit. It gets +1 damage for each foundation you have destroyed this turn. So you can blow up just one, have your attacks at +1 damage throughout, or you can build up to a very big final dunk to just really send it home.
Yeah, just having the built-in destroy a foundation on your character means that as deep as your string goes, you're going to get to destroy that many foundations at least, right? At least. And there are some other attacks you can play that'll start to play into that too. If you really want to, you can play Fierce Whirlwind. This is an interesting, I was kind of hoping when I heard we were getting Inasa, I was like, oh man, Fierce Whirlwind is about to become so good. The weird thing about Fierce Whirlwind is it's kind of just it's kind of superfluous. It's an unnecessary card when you're running Inasa, it feels like, because you're already going to be destroying a lot of foundations. And Fierce Whirlwind allows you to destroy a bunch more foundations to ready things that, again, haven't been readied this combat phase, just like Inasa's ability. So it feels like that it's going to conflict a little bit with he's already going to destroy as much as he wants to most of the time anyway, it feels like.
Is this finally going to be the deck that gets to play the Extendo Hair Strike combo?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, and alongside Grenadier Bracers, I'm thinking about this because we're looking at Bakugo on the card, but Bakugo 1's kit from set 1 is going to have a lot of nice little tools that Inasa can play also. Aggressive Temper being a pretty obvious one, a foundation you can play in the deck. You can commit it on an attack to give +2 speed to your attack, and then immediately destroy it to ready a different foundation. And then get +2 damage on the attack also. It's a little bit of damage buff that Inasa is missing. That's the one thing about a speed focused character is that sometimes your attacks are so fast, but you hit like a wet noodle. It just doesn't,
yes,
it doesn't matter. So you do need to try and find some ways, I think, to pump that damage in there. And that's actually one thing, as I played a fair amount of Bakugo 1, and I always found it a little disappointing when I would throw an attack and I would make the check perfectly. It's like, well, that's good. I'm glad, but I really prefer to destroy foundations with Bakugo that I've already used for something. And I didn't always have my ways to use them built out there. So I love that Inasa can do that. He gets to play the stuff and he goes, oh, I'm going to get full value. I'm going to get full value from everything I'm doing. I'm going to commit every foundation that I'm going to destroy to get the value out of it before I destroy it, or ready the ones that I commit so that I can use them to pay for something or use them again in a future turn. That's just really fun. And speaking of cards like that, we can't end this without talking about learning to harden. Because
all of Kirishima's 3 kit has got some good luck with this guy.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that completely, actually. Kirishima 3's kit is really, really sweet in here. Learning to harden seems to me like if you're building Death Inasa, it's like the 4 of that the first thing you just slot into the deck. The enhanced commit, this attack gets -2 speed or +2 damage. Obviously, you can use that multiple times, which is very cool. The cute thing about this is that now this card on the board represents either -2 speed, +2 speed, or +2 damage, because you can choose any of those things to do with it using Inasa's ability, including both in the same attack. You can commit it to give your attack +2 speed as the response, then use Inasa to ready it, and then give it +2 damage also. And when you destroy it with Inasa, you get to draw a card also, which is
great. It's just all gravy all the way down.
Absolutely. Everything you want to do there. I love all that stuff. There are certainly plenty of other cards that I think are quite viable. Like, do I need to say that Nice Try is good in a character that can play it? I feel like I don't, but it is. Any other cards you want to hit in our little discussion here, Mitch?
There is one other card. It's another 3-diff foundation, but it fits so well the way he wants to do. Blood Evaluation. It has this cool response that once per turn, after it's ready to do an effect, draw a card. We ready it on our face.
And furthermore, you can discard momentum to ready it multiple times if you want to.
Yes, so we obviously want to ready it with our face first, because ours is the more restricted one. But
right, so if you blood evaluation to ready itself first, then you can't use Inasa's refresh on it. Yeah, which is a little tricky sequencing thing. You just want to make sure you're doing correctly. But after you ready with Inasa, you can continue to ready it as much as you want, as long as you have momentum to discard to it. But again, just another nice way to get +3 or -3 speed and draw a card by committing a foundation is like, that's pretty nice.
You draw it on my turn and their turn. It's a great value for this guy. It's going to be an 8 hand touch character. Yes, please.
Yeah. So, boy, I'm curious how you guys all are going to play with Inasa. How many 3-diff foundations is too many? The big
I'm up to 12 already, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's the big question to ask for this character. I'm excited. If you are interested in Inasa, I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comments below of Inasa and of our other spoiler cards, Gusty Buffet or Gutsy Buffet, your choice. Say it however you want.
Oh, God, now I'm hungry.
And, of course, Heroic Passion. Very fun cards. Thank you so much to UVS Games. I keep trying to say the wrong name, but I will break the habit. Thank you so much to UVS Games for sharing these cards with us, allowing them to share them with you guys. These are very fun cards. Inasa is a cool character who is overdue for a character card since he first showed up back in like season 2. I think that was when the
2 or 3.
I think the second half of season 2 is when they had the provisional thing, right? So
I think so. 2 or 3. I haven't watched the first in a while.
Something like that. It's been a while, is the point.
It's been a while.
And we haven't had an Inasa card, and we have a now. I'm actually kind of glad they waited for this set because this gorgeous character card art gets to exist for Inasa now. So all the Inasa super fans get to enjoy having their character in the beautiful new character template. I think it looks so good. So really excited for that. Make sure you hit up your local retailers, ask them to get in Jetburn, pick it up when it releases, and make sure you stay tuned to Maindeck. We will have more UVS content coming for you guys in the future. Been working out some kinks, but we're very excited with how UVS Games is treating the game going forward. So make sure to look out for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.